Right folks, back here with another newspaper review. I've not done one for a while, it's just a matter of finding time and stuff and that to do. There were loads of things I wanted to talk about, but in the past I haven't got time to do it. So, if you hear any noise outside, next doors have had a new fence. We will have a new fence around October, November time, hopefully. They've done a real good job. There you go. Very good. So we're back in with the Daily Star. It's Wednesday, June the 19th. And the headlines are: Axe TV host Jeremy Kyle was dubbed a coward last night for dodging a grilling from MPs concerned by the apparent suicide of show guest. Politicians wanted to quiz him over participants on his long-running daytime hit were treated as, turn to page 4, part of an inquiry into reality TV. The show was axed last month. Culture, Media and Sports Committee Chairman Damian Collins, MP, we believe that Jeremy Kyle himself is an important witness. We will be pursuing the matter. Stephen Diamond, 63, is believed to have taken his own life after he failed a lie detector test on the programme. Jeremy, 53, who is staying out of the limelight since the scandal, gave no reason for refusing to appear before MPs last night. A spokesman declined to comment, but Jeremy faced a backlash online from telefans. One said, "Wow, so Jeremy Kyle, the bully of daytime TV, is an utter coward and scared to appear in front of MPs." Well, let's face it, right now, Jeremy Kyle, the show. I used to watch it. I don't watch it no more because it's not on. I used to watch it, but I haven't watched it for quite a while it was on. And people volunteered to go on to the Jeremy Kyle show. They volunteered to go on and have their lives exposed as such, and all their problems, all their alcohol addictions, the gambling addictions, the drug addictions, the affairs they had, the kids that they didn't know, or the illnesses and that. And Jeremy Kyle helped them, right? They went on there on their own accord. Nobody forced them on, right? Nobody made them actually write a letter and go on to Jeremy Kyle. They wrote this letter, or they actually asked to go on there. And in many cases, Jeremy Kyle did good things. He helped people find out DNA results. They found out, they helped people with drug addictions, alcohol addictions, gambling addictions, all kinds of things, right? Now, this bloke who's been on there, this Steve Diamond, who failed the lie detector test, I don't know. It's one of them things where people go on these things and they were trying to... He's failed the lie detector test. And you either believe in him or you don't. I mean, there is a discrepancy saying that there is a chance that it might fail. Stone cold. That he might actually fail the test. The test might not be true. Well, let's face it. It's there. It's people have used it, and it's been there for the last how long's Jeremy Kyle been going? 15 years or so. So it's all very well MPs saying we want Jeremy Kyle to come to this thing. He hasn't got to go there. It's not a law thing. It's not. You can call him a coward if you want, but he don't want to do it. Well, why should he do it? The programme format has been there for years and years and years. People know how it works. You go in, you answer the questions, you do this, you take the tests or whatever. You know what it is. He went on there, that Stephen Diamond, and thought he could fool it, beat the system, but apparently got a history of it. And anyway, so I don't understand why. And they go on about reality TV. They have these things like, I'll be on about Love Island in a minute. It's not reality TV. It's just a load of bollocks. It's just entertainment. And if you're willing to put yourself out there, and I don't know, it seems like there are a certain class of people that used to go on Jeremy Kyle just for the hotel, the night out, the try to get some fame and all that kind of thing. So you go on these things, I think it's your own fault, to be fair. I come out on here on YouTube, right? And if people abuse me and leave me a nasty message, then fair enough. That's what you do. You come out here and you actually put yourself out in the public. You may not like it, but that's the way it is. So, I don't know. I don't think Jeremy Kyle's got to go on there. To be fair, I don't think it's. No doubt there'll be people out there who disagree with me and they're saying they should go on there. But whatever Jeremy Kyle does and goes and says out there, it ain't going to change the format. We all know the format of Jeremy Kyle show. That's it. Done. Alright. Right, let's move on. We've got Leadsom. She's backing Boris. This is another thing, the old Tory MP leadership and the future Prime Minister in a couple of months or so. And it all depends who we think is the best person to take on the job as Prime Minister. And it looks like it might be Boris Johnson. Has he got that thing tonight or tomorrow night? I can't remember where. It's the Tory debate on the BBC channel. I understand why Boris didn't go on there the other night on the Channel 4 one. I won't give Channel 4 the time of day half the time because I think, and that Jon Snow is just a complete arse. So I can understand why he didn't go on it, because it wasn't a case for him to. He's already out in front, so it was the other ones to see who are going to come behind him. Excuse me. And do you know what? I think Boris has got a real good chance of turning all this around if he just keeps his cock in his trousers and his brain in tune with his mouth, and he doesn't just come out and he actually thinks about what he's going to say. I think he could be all right. Right, we've got Alan Sugar on here. Lord Sugar has revealed that daft Americans think his title is his real name, Lord Sugar. Don't Americans understand our peerage system and all that? They seem to just... I don't know. It's just... They haven't got anything like that over there, have they? Then they probably want stuff like that, but they can't have it because it's ours. Right, let's... get the gashes on. Gary Lineker will ask why his grandfather was called a D-Day Dodger in a new WW2 documentary. His grandfather was on the front line with the Royal Army Medical Corps in Italy 1944. But the term D-Day Dodger was applied to soldiers serving in the Mediterranean, implying they avoided real combat. I don't think anybody in them days avoided real combat. I can only imagine what it must have been like to be hundreds of miles away from home. You're at war, wherever you are. Each person that fought in the war provided a valuable asset, if that's how I can describe them, soldiers as an asset. They're valuable, and wherever they fought, they were needed. So I don't think anybody should be, don't get me wrong, the lads on the front who did the D-Day landings and all that, that must have been absolutely atrocious. But they had to fight in different parts of the world to sort the Nazis out, to sort Hitler out. So, I don't think anybody should be called a D-Day Dodger, and that's it. Right, let me have a look now. Let's keep on going. Oh God, Lee Ryan will be putting on his dancing shoes again later this year in a new 70s themed jukebox theatre show. The Blue and formerly Strict star will appear with Louis Smith, Rachel Stevens and Melody Thornton in a rip it up the 70s. Yeah, we'll just... Right, here we go, Love Island. Joe Grant was brutally ditched from Villa last night after the public vote. Who gives a flying fuck about Love Island? It is just, look at this, look, what a bunch of fucking... Now, I've just been talking about the D-Day landings and people dodging the D-Day landings and all that in the Mediterranean. There isn't one of them who you could actually put out there and fight. They're all just self-obsessed fucking arseholes. I haven't got... I know I'm talking about them now, and I'm going to say I haven't got a minute for them. I really haven't. It's just complete... I don't know... All this is an 18 to 30s holiday for the TV. That's all that somebody's done. They've got the old 18 to 30s holiday and just put it on TV. It's just a complete load of shite. Mick Jagger, right, also, so Mick Jagger looks every inch of the doting dad as he proudly poses with his family. His daughter Jade shared her pictures on Instagram. The 75-year-old Rolling Stone legend is about to tour America following a successful heart operation. He's got daughters of 17, he's got a son of 33, Lucas is 20, Jade is 47, Karis is 48 and Adrian's 47. I wonder how much sperm you actually get in your lifetime to keep producing that. And then he's got other kids as well, isn't he? He's got younger ones. Unbelievable. Liam Gallagher, he says he wants to be the next Prime Minister. The Oasis frontman said he could sort out this pile of shit. I think Liam's probably got a point. I think most people could sort out this pile of shit that Liam's talking around. These politicians are just so far up their own arses, it's absolutely unbelievable. And we pay them for the pleasure of being up their own arse. Well, in the case of Boris Johnson, you're probably up somebody else's arse. Or whatever. But he's right, it's an absolute... the only thing is he can't sort out his feud with his brother, so I don't know if he can sort out Brexit, so perhaps I'm talking shit. Well, I don't know. The thing is, though, Noel, Liam, you can't just stand there at the box in the House of Commons with your hands behind your back, talking like that into a microphone. Oh well. Mind you, Jezza might like him because Jezza likes a superstar, doesn't he? He likes to pander up to him in a photo opportunity. A drinker has successfully sued Brewdog after he was stopped buying its women's only beer. Dr. Thomas Bower, 27, was refused pink IPA at Brewdog Bar in Cardiff. The beer was on sale, but at a discount for £4. Only to identify, it was only for customers who identified as females. It was awarded £1,000 in damages. Now, if I was Dr. Bower, I would give that £1,000 to some kind of charity. You've proved your point, well done, but there's no need for you to keep that. Give it to charity. Survivors of terrorism are launching a campaign for Martin's Law. It's to better protect the public from attacks. It would oblige all venues and public spaces to have security plans and procedures in place to deal with terrorism incidents. The law is named for Martin Hecht, 29, who was one of the 22 murdered. I think, yes, a very good idea. But the idea is, when you have got suspicions of, mind you, there's that many of them that they're suspicious of terrorism now. It's getting beyond a joke. You've got to. But there again, I suppose, weren't some terrorists the other week. They'd been on Channel 4 saying the jihadi next door. I mean, that gives a clue, doesn't it, when it's on telly? So I don't know. It's when we have got a terrorist. Mind you, see, we're letting all these. They're all coming abroad on the down on the south coast, aren't we? We don't know who's coming in, and what we do is we accept them. They're all calling them immigrants, migrants, or whatever they are. We haven't got a fucking clue who they are. We need to know who these people are. Parents will almost £9 billion a year to keep their children entertained this summer holidays. Mums and dads will spend an average of £126 more each week for each youngster at home. Extra petrol, day trips and activities cost the average family around £1,500. The research carried out by Money Supermarket found out that half of parents worry about finances when their child's off school. Nationwide, the weekly cost is right now. Now this gets on my tits, because what happens is when the kids are not at school, apparently parents are finding it hard to feed the kids. They go, we haven't got the money, this and that, we've got to do this. Now, before you have children, right? When we sat down as such and started discussing a family, we had to look at what if, right? What if one of us made redundant? What if one of us became ill? What if something happens? You know, what happens? You've got to try and assess everything that might happen. So you have to try and judge your lifestyle so that you've still got a comfortable lifestyle if something happens. Now, people are saying, oh, it's our entitlement to have as many children as we like. No, it's not. You can't just keep going having kids. Now, we had the one child, right? Because we thought that if anything went wrong with our jobs, and I've been made redundant 3 times, we could still survive, we could still pay the mortgage, and we could still actually have a nice standard of living. So, but people seem to think that, oh, I've got to pay for a kid when it's not at school. Oh, when it's not at school, I've got to feed it. Oh, I can't go to work when we've got a kid. What the fuck is wrong with people? Do they just have a shag, fuck, and then have a baby, and then just bugger the consequences, because all it's going to do is fall up? You have got a responsibility to the child. It's not a responsibility to the state. You have to look after that child. It ain't fucking rocket science. So when you're thinking about having a family, think either cover it or fucking take the pill or just pull out or shoot it on the tits or whatever. Just don't have kids. They're not a fucking income. Right. I'm not bothered about wide. Eddie Kidd. Oh, Eddie Kidd, I forgot all about him. Look, the old stunt man, paralysed, didn't he? Had a bad crash. But he's 60. Nice to see him out and about. Left him with brain damage. Poor old Eddie. He was a star, weren't he? He was fucking nuts. Jo Brand, she stopped going out to pubs because of the abuse she gets. Speaking before the battery acid round, she has built up a thick skin after dealing with rowdy audiences since the 1980s, but she refused to go out at weekends when people are drunk because people are drunk because of the cruel insults. I think the thing with Jo Brand is, I do like Jo Brand. I think she's very funny. She's very dry, very witty. But the thing is, my duck, you can't seem to go out and then insult people and then not come back at you when you don't want it. It's one of those things. It's, you know, you live by the sword kind of thing. It's, that's what it is. That's what you are, Joe. You're a comedian who's very, very funny. I do like her. I think she's quite funny. And she does insult, but you're going to get it back, girl. And that's the way it is. Right or wrong, it's going to happen. A man who threw a milkshake over Nigel Farage has been spared jail. A court heard Paul Crowther had lost his job following the politically motivated attack. Crowther, 32, admitted assault and criminal damage to a £239 lapel microphone. Sorry, I was reading what I wanted to read and not what was there. Sentencing will be passed, so he's escaped. Then that's made it. That's all right. And so he's been. What should have happened there? He should have been made the example and got prison. Because you can't just have people throwing milkshake or whatever over somebody just because you disagree. A sexual predator who applied 2 children with alcohol and drugs before attacking them has been caged for 32 years. Dangerous offender Stephen Allen raped a young girl and attacked her on the other occasions. The 51-year-old also encouraged a teenage boy to engage in sexual... what the fuck? How long has he got? He's been caged for 32 years. 32 years. So what's he going to be out in? Probably 16. He could still be like before 70. Where really what should happen is somebody like that should actually have a big capital P tattooed on the forehead, or R for rapist and stuff like that. It's you know, pub goers have been urged to ditch their phones to get to know fellow boozers. Could be an idea. Serial killer Rose West has been moved to another prison after making a fellow lag a strawberry cheesecake. Cheesecake? What the fucking hell are they making a cheesecake for in prison? What the bloody hell's all that about? You should be making cheese. What you should be doing with duckies, you should be breaking rocks and painting fucking coal white. The villain, she comforted robber Jessica Roth, 21, with sweet treats after she was bullied. West, 65, is serving a whole life tariff for the murder of 10 young women, took pity on Roth after she was targeted by other cons disgusted by her crime. What did the villain who was jailed for 10 years for her role in a raid on a kindly OAP who had taken her into home and tried to wean her off drugs. She left the 78-year-old unlocked to let 2 accomplices in. The victim was tied up hit with an oar. What the bloody hell do you do with an oar? You just take it along with you. Stabbed with a letter opener, strangled and struck with an air pistol as Roth cased the joint. Well, mind you, that's the way Rose West works, isn't it? If she can do what she did, she's going to take sympathy. But obviously there was some kind of different ulterior motive there, and she probably wanted to do sexy, rude things to her, which is completely disgusting, and she could... It just absolutely amazes me. Rod Stewart here, he's pissed. Picture of Rod, look. Fair play to him, he's out on the town. The army is bloated with top brass while frontline troops numbers plummeted. There are 1,270 lieutenant colonels and just 120 command positions, new figures show. Well, that sounds about fucking right, really, for our army, isn't it? It's just, the lads, it's like the old World War One, isn't it? Lions led by fucking donkeys. It's just a way to keep them out of the way, and really, do we need that many? Oh, fucking doubt it. Right, two brothers who swapped car seats before police pulled them over were both banned because each of them were drunk. Officers initially saw Jamie Musgrave, 29, at the wheel of a Jeep Renegade which drove past the patrol car at 12:15 a.m. Moments later, Jamie pulled over and brother Stuart, 32, got out of the passenger side to answer a call of nature. Jamie then slid over to the passenger seat when accounts administrator Stuart returned. He opened the driver's door, sat down and drove off. Police swiftly stopped the car and both brothers were found to be 3 times over the drink drive limit. They both denied driving with excess alcohol but were found guilty at Manchester Magistrate. Well, if he's an accounts administrator, he can fuck off because he's not doing my accounts because he's the thick as shit and basically completely clueless. I just can't work it out. Well, how fucking stupid can you be? A Chinese student ran a 100,000 money laundering scheme at the Old Bailey herd. Bin Ding, 25 of Aberystwyth, was caught by officers at the Euston station with £100,000 and £20 notes. Ding of Aberystwyth denies one count of being concerned. Oh, fucking hell, unbelievable. A businessman who shared a video of Muslims being killed at New Zealand mosque has been jailed for 21 months. Did you see that on the news? Fucking hell. Right, what we've got here, the grandson of vicious swan named Mr. Absbo terrorised a student who dared to go. Oh right, there's a bloke here. For some reason he's found it funny to jump in the river, and there's a swan going by with all its ugly ducklings. Why can't people just leave nature alone? What the fuck is wrong with them? Youngsters are being targeted by fraudsters because they put every detail of their lives on social media, experts warned. I do social media, but there's certain things I don't put out there. You can't do it because there's too many people out there too bully to rip you off. It's absolutely ridiculous. And kids nowadays, they think they're being clever. The ginger one, that quite tuned in, won't put a lot out there, and fair play to them because I don't want them knowing that kind of stuff. So taxi drivers, McDonald's staff and hotel workers have been trained to spot exploited children. What the fucking hell's it got to do with people at McDonald's? What? What's this say? Today's children will grow up as Generation Alpha. British youngsters born from 2010 will be activists questioning everything from gender stereotype to... In other words, they're not Generation Alpha, there's Generation Snowflakes. Oh yeah, it says it. They'll be more opinionated than the millennial snowflakes. I don't know, sometimes things... To be fair, you don't really actually learn anything in life until you're into your 30s. You've got to get a certain amount of experience in life before you start knowing stuff. Asker, just whizzed by that. Right, that's... Harry Hill's got something out. Harry Hill's Alien Fun Capsule. I like Harry Hill. I used to like his TV Burke. Right, let's get what I've got. About 7 minutes left before me half hour's up. Right, let's do Just Jane. I like a drink, but my girlfriend goes crazy after one. She literally zooms from 0 to 60 in the time it takes to knock back a glass of Pinot. Just recently, I've witnessed her dancing on a table, snogging another girl and taking her clothes off, and that was just one party. She had fights in pubs, rousing toilets and hideous brawls with her own mates. The problem is she never gets hangovers and can't remember anything the next day. Last one I told her how atrocious she became because she doesn't believe it. I think you better video, mate. I think you've got a video on your phone, or just video and see that, and then when she sees that she's getting her tits out and snogging other girls and having a fight, that's it. I'd say you've got to give her a chance and say, look, you've got to sort this out. If not, just fucking kick her into touch. My boyfriend says he misses his parents and intends to move back to his home village. I can go with him if I like, but I'm not going to stop him. I can't believe this situation. We have a wonderful life, wonderful busy life here in the city. We have friends, work. I'll tell you what, if he's from a village, I mean, I've lived in a village, and it's, just listen. It's peaceful. It's great. There's nothing happening in the village. It's very rare. Don't get me wrong. You get neighbours having the fence put up, and rightly so. But it's just so peace and quiet, and it's just great. So he wants to go back for the peace and quiet. I think you ought to go with him, my duck, and I think you'll absolutely enjoy it. Poison jibes of jealous bully. I fear a woman in my office is waging a vendetta against me because I'm good at my job. She's jealous of my success and bonuses, and has told colleagues I have bad breath, body odour, and wear dirty clothes. It's not true. I'm beginning to dread work. Just go and go her in the toilet, right? Get her in the toilet, and then grab her around the fucking throat, whack her against the wall, and say, "Pat the fucker in, or I'll have you." Easy done. I want an affair with my flirty work pal. Hubby's just so boring. I'm working with a really cheeky lad. We wind each other up every day. He makes jokes about my useless football team while I laugh at his inability to grow a decent beard. More than once our colleagues have yelled out, "Get a room," but we've never so much as kissed. I'm in a boring marriage and and he has an on-off girlfriend, but they don't live together. Over the past couple of weeks, I've begun to realise that I really fancy him. Friendship has grown to something more, and I can't deny the chemistry between us. The other day, his hand accidentally touched mine, and I nearly hit the ceiling. I went bright red and started stuttering. Dare I throw caution to the wind and start a mad affair with him? I'm bored with my marriage and my sex life. I'm not so sure I want a full split and divorce from my husband, but it's definitely craving better sex and excitement. My nan died last year, wishing she had had more fun and laughter in her life. My late granddad was a miserable old so-and-so. I think if you're that fucking unhappy in your marriage, right, you don't want to lose your marriage because you're quite comfortable as such. Your husband's obviously providing as such. You've got a house, you've got a mortgage and all that kind of thing, and you don't want to lose that. But if you don't want to be with him, leave him, and then you can start again. It might be the best thing to do to actually leave him. You don't give an age, so I don't know. That's what I think anyway. Right, well, we've got 3 minutes. Let's quick whiz through. The sport's pretty shit. England lost the football yesterday. I didn't see it. I was too busy watching stuff on YouTube. Gary Monk's was axed by Birmingham. Birmingham's a nightmare of a club, isn't it? It's another one that's been taken over by some just money men who seem to think they can get in the Premier League without actually having to do any fucking work. You know what, right? Obviously, you all know I'm a Leicester fan. Leicester are so lucky to have the owners that they've got. It's unbelievable that they have actually come in and done good things to the club. But these other ones that just take over these other clubs just don't give a fuck about fans, clubs, or anything. All they want is the money. But they put a bit of money in it and they want maximum return for little investment. Rangers have dismissed claims Stephen Gerrard has been offered the Derby job. I don't think he needs to go down to Derby, does he? I think he's learning a better trade in. I think he'll have more experience in Scotland than he would in fucking Derby. Well, that's no disrespect to Derby. So, what we on? 2 minutes. Yeah, what's this? Chowdhury got sent off after a review. I don't know. I've not seen it. I'll have to truck into that, but. The Leicester man crunched the ankle of lively Jonathan Bamba as he tried to shoot, conceding a penalty, earning him a red card. Oh, right. Women are doing well in the World Cup. They keep cracking on. Manchester United are still trying to spend billions trying to build their team. They're after Leicester player Maguire and a few others. I'm hoping Maguire doesn't go. I really am. But for 80 million, that's a bloody good price, and it's going to be hard to turn that down for a player. United are actually they're trying to spend. They want Diop for 75. They want Maguire for 80 million. Then there's all these other players that they want, and I can't honestly understand how Manchester United are going to make that money back up. I honestly don't know. I think Man United should just take a backward step, start bringing the youth through, and just get the odd few players, but that's it. Cricket World Cup, they're doing well. The lads are sorting it out, so we'll go from there. That's it then. I'm coming up to the end of the half hour. I hope you've enjoyed that. I will be doing more of these in the future. You'll all find out why, because things are changing in my life and I might have more time to do this. Alright folks, laters.